What's up, guys? The Snowman here, and today I want to go over my top 10 best backhands in men's tennis. If you didn't already catch my forehands video, please check that out as well. But today we're talking just on the ATP side, and we're talking about the best backhands in the game today. So to start out my list at number 10, I want to talk about a player who maybe you don't know as much about, Nikoloz Basilashvili. And for the Georgian, it is all about raw power. His backhand is a piercing, thunderous monster stroke. This guy blasts every ball as hard as he can, consistently near the top of the tour leaderboards for fastest average backhand ground stroke speed, and it's starting to become more steady, not as volatile as it used to be, but it still has some moments where it comes and goes. Definitely, though, a ton of artillery on the backhand side for the guy nicknamed the Georgian Destroyer. Next on my list, I'm giving the nod to a player who you probably have heard before, Roger Federer. And we know Fed, the strength of his game, not really the backhand, it's more so the serve, the forehand, the volley, the net play. But the variety in his one-handed backhand is why I give him the nod here. Does so many different things. The short chip return where he just deflects the ball back ever so softly, lures his opponents into the net, has drop shots, lobs, passing shots, slices. All of these things he does tremendously well with the backhand. So even though, not as big power as a guy like Basilashvili, other guys on this list, in terms of a baseline rally, maybe his backhand isn't the best, but he's got enough weapons and tricks up his sleeve with the backhand to make my top 10 list. Number 8, the Frenchman Richard Gasquet, and his backhand is so liquid, so fluid. One-handed backhand, just one of the most elegant and graceful strokes on the tour. He winds it up so far backwards, able to generate a ton of racket head speed. The Frenchman's game is synonymous really with this one-handed backhand. Supreme spin, incredible angles he's able to hit. Just looks so natural. It's like you're watching water pour out of a glass. Gasquet, an unequivocal master of the backhand wing. Alright, in my opinion, the 7th best backhand on the tour today, Rafael Nadal. And like Fed, Rafa uses the backhand a lot to set up his forehand, but it can be very troublesome to deal with. High tennis IQ, knows when to hit the backhand flat and when to hit some higher arcing balls. Very consistent with it, very proficient in terms of the backhand pass. The thing I like the most about Rafa's backhand is the angle he hits it with, almost drives his opponents off the court at times. And again, he's able to set up his forehand for winners then, but it's just such a savvy stroke, and for Rafa and his well-rounded playing style, the backhand really complements everything. Next up, I know he's nearing the end of his tennis life, but number 6, I've got Andy Murray. Had to pay my respects to Muzzard's backhand. Unfortunately, his movement has been hindered by the hip injury and his injuries the last couple of years, but his backhand still an all-timer. It's not as sexy as some others on my list. The number of winners he hits, generally never an overwhelming amount, but he grinds down opponents with the backhand, forces you into low percentage shots you're not accustomed to taking. The backhand just so dependable, so frustrating for his opponents to deal with. Now on to the top 5 for my best backhands, and we'll go with the Prince of Clay here, the Austrian Dominic Thiem, who's one of the top baseliners in the game, and he uses a very powerful one-handed backhand to construct points masterfully. It's such a heavy shot. He can smoke it with such precision, and what's amazing about Thiem's backhand, it doesn't matter where he is on the court. Sometimes he'll step back for his return 10, 12, 16 feet behind the baseline, but he can still crack the whip. It's so hard to volley against the Austrian's backhand pass. One of my favorite shots on the tour. Number 4 then, Kei Nishikori, and we'll get to a certain Serbian soon, but Nishikori, very similar two-handed backhand to Novak Djokovic, seldom hits unforced errors from the backhand wing. It's a breathtaking backhand down the line that the Japanese player is able to hit, able to change the direction of a rally like few others on the tour. He can grip it and rip it down the line or cross court. It's offense plus defense, really. Just tremendous footwork and timing. Nishikori's backhand, truly an elite stroke. Now for the top 3, I've pretty much got all these 3 on the same plane. And number 3, I have Alexander Zverev. 6'6", he's able to generate big-time power off the backhand. He's actually one of the few guys on the tour who will run around a neutral ball to hit a backhand. Most guys prefer to hit their forehand, but his best shot, the cross-court backhand. If he's playing another right-hander, it's nearly impossible to beat him in a backhand-to-backhand cross-court rally. Gets low pretty well for a taller player. Technically, it's flawless. put this shot in the dictionary for what a backhand should look like. Just perfect weight distribution and footwork. And I think in a couple of years, when guys like Fed, Rafa, and Djokovic are off the tour, Zverev could have the best backhand on the tour. Number 2, I give the nod to the legend Novak Djokovic, and there is so many things with his backhand. Defense, obviously maybe the top thing he does, his reach, ability to get the racket on any ball, hits the backhand while in the splits, incredible flexibility, pinpoint accuracy, though rarely misses in baseline rallies with the backhand. Obviously the backhand return is incredible. Probably the greatest the game has ever seen. Turns defense to offense so well, resets the point, and then all the variety I spoke about with Fed. Joker has all that too. Feathery droppers, lobs, passing shots. Joker is the master of the backhand. And then at number 1, I decided to go with Stan Wawrinka. This is purely a personal preference thing with me. I understand on paper, Djokovic's backhand probably better. I just love the aesthetics of Stan's one-handed backhand. My favorite stroke in tennis. And with Novak, you know, the beauty in the backhand is mostly defensive, but for Wawrinka, it's all offense. The sheer power is unmatched, incredibly hard to approach against Stan because he can blister the backhand pass either around you or directly at you. I've seen him hit some incredible angles, jaw-dropping topspin to keep it low. I don't care that the Joker is more consistent with his. Stan's backhand is the most dazzling and alluring shot we have in the game. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you would change about my list. If there's anyone great with a backhand that I left off, please let me know. And thank you so much. I'll be back very soon. Cheers.